Szerintem nincs olyan magyar, akár szereti a focit, akár nem, aki ne lenne büszke arra, hogy a magyar válogatott kijutott az EB-re. Az egész ország rájuk figyel. De mi a siker titka? Hogyan lehet egy csapatot felépíteni, újra gondolni? Milyen stratégiával hozta meg döntéseit Marco Rossi szövetségi kapitány, és egy vállalkozás mit kamatoztathat ebből? Marco Rossi, thank you for coming.
Me too.
When we record this interview, we can almost talk about the final stretch before the European Championship. What is this period like?
No, it's a busy period. We are checking all the players, their performances, their matches, their state of form, but especially their health, because we need players healthy and in a good shape for the European Championship. So then, all in all, I have also other things to do. It's a busy period, but I like my job and I'm happy to do this.
What's your target?
Our target is always to improve. Now we have the European Championship. In the previous one, we were close to go through the group. Our dream in this moment, that could be also our target, is to go through our group. But even if it's not a group so tough like it was in 2021, it's quite close to that level, because Germany is Germany, playing at home, big team, big players. Switzerland is more or less on the same level. And Scotland is a team done by warriors, used to play in the Premier League, used to play at least in the Scottish Championship or in the Championship in England. So we will face very tough opponent, and what is needed by us is first to be everywhere, everybody there. So I mean, with having the opportunity to invite everybody, all the key players without injuries, and of course being in shape for the 3 matches in our group.
Is it a dream or you are realistic about the team?
No, I think that in the last years, we are talking not less than 3 years, we made, I think, several improvements. It's not only a thought, but it's something that is visible from the results, but not only from the results, also from the performances. We have seen many of our players growing up really well, thanks to their decision, of course, thanks to their effort and commitment. And for this reason, we can think in the future in a more optimistic way compared to 3 or 4 years ago. But of course, like I many times suggested to our crowd, that I know is really passionate, we must keep our foot on the ground.
Analysts say you are building a winner team from zero.
No, from zero, we started in a moment in which we were depressed. Everybody less than me and my staff. I remember when we went for the first time in Telki, and really there was a very, very depressed environment. The guys, not one of them smiling. And in that moment, it was hard for me, for my staff, to try to rebuild a kind of confidence in themselves, in each other. And this was the most important thing that I think we succeeded on doing. Of course, the self-confidence, the self-esteem is coming from your efforts, from your commitment, but also from the results. And we can say that, I can say that we did well. We were lucky in some moments, in some key moments. But now I can say that our guys, despite the difference that sometimes they could face on the pitch, they don't feel themselves beaten at the beginning. I mean, they are going to the pitch confident that every result could happen, could arrive, even if we are going to face the toughest team in the world.
I think building a football team is like building a team in business life. Do you agree?
Under several aspects, many aspects, yes. Because I think I never work in a corporation team, but of course, if it's a team, must be a team. I mean, everybody has a personal target, of course, but the most important target is always the target of the team. And in order to achieve this target, you must work together. Not only work together, you must help each other meanwhile you are working together. There are moments in which someone is feeling much better than another one, is in a better situation because of shape, because of individual performance. But this is the moment in which you must help the others if you are really convinced that the team target is more important than your personal target in that moment.
Do you have or did you have cliques in your team or any conflicts? How do you avoid cliquing?
Sometimes there are, but there are conflicts coming from, there were in the past much more. Now, of course, when the things are going well, it's difficult to see conflicts inside the team. Everybody is on the same way, everybody is thinking positive, in a positive way. So everybody is really trying to help each other. So, and what is from my point of view, really fantastic to be seen is the way in which the guys arrive in Telki. I mentioned to you at the beginning, it was like going to a funeral. I mean, the first invitation in September 2018 was terrible under this aspect. Now, you are seeing the guys coming to Telki, they are looking like coming back from abroad, wherever they are, and coming in their family. Everybody is smiling, everybody happy, everybody thankful to be there, to be in Telki. So, and this state of mind, of course, is really helpful for the job and the work that we have to do. So the environment is helping a lot. In the past, there were conflicts regarding, when the things are not going in the right way, there is always a reason to complain about something, no? And, but now, no. Starting from us, because we always said, and we still are saying that here, thanks to the federation, essentially, there are all the tools in order to perform in the best of the way. So we have everything. We have only to try to do our job in the best of the way as possible.
How did you choose key people for the team? And based on what?
The way of choosing is, we can say that we change a bit. I change a bit my parameters of selection since we lost in Cardiff in November 2019. This, for me, was a, how can I say, sliding door moment, because I was really frustrated, not for the results, but for the way in which we look like during the match. I mean, 90 minutes without feeling the sensation to be competitive. And what's so frustrating for me, I spoke with my staff, with my colleagues, with my family, and it was a moment in which I had two options. or resign, or if I could decide to go forward, for sure I had to change something. And we changed the selection criteria, and yeah, I think that under some aspect, under many aspects, it works. It worked, and it's still working. We have to put together many things. In football, there is not only the technical aspect. There is the tactical aspect. There is, in the modern football, the physical performances are more and more and more and more important. So choosing between players who are football players, of course, with good technical skills and tactical skills, but at the same time, you have to choose athletes able to run 90 minutes or more, able to sprint, able to jump, able to fight under the physical aspect at the same level of their opponent, even if their opponent are playing the top leagues. So on one side, genetic, and on the other side, there is the aspect of the trainings, of the improvements. And then, what is important, many times we are listening about this, but not so many times we are open or able to work on, is the psychological aspect. Today there are many tools that could help the players in order to arrive to the match at the best of their conditions. And when I'm talking about best condition, I'm talking about physical aspect, technical and tactical aspect, psychological aspect. And yeah, I can say that today almost all the team is available, open to work also under the psychological aspect, because we have profiles of every players. We are suggesting to them on which aspects they have to work to, improve, because everybody of us has weaknesses. Nobody better than us knows which are our weaknesses. I know better than a doctor which kind of weaknesses I have. How I'm feeling, I'm the best person who can say how I'm feeling, even if the doctor is the best in the world. So it's important to be able to put together all those aspects. And the guys, to be honest, are trying to do this. Is, not always is easy, because they are busy with their clubs. They have trainings every day, sometimes double session trainings. And then we know the human naturally is a bit lazy. So you must force yourself sometimes in doing something extra. And but yeah, I'm happy under this aspect. I have to say that I'm happy for the answer of the players. To make a resume, when I came here with the national team, of course, because at the beginning of my career in Hungary, we were two, me and my historical assistant Cosimo Inguscio, and we were just two in the staff. Then the club Onved had some professional to us, because two with 30 players is difficult to deal. So, but then in the national team, we came with me, Cosimo, plus three that were the match analyst, the physical coach, and also the goalkeeper coach. Then, for different reasons, three of them left. Me and Cosimo, what we did was to put together Hungarians in our coaching staff, Hungarian people with, of course, that we knew working in the federation, that were under the professional aspect, of course, good, very good. I mean, they have the right knowledge. And then our idea was to increase even in the coaching staff, the sense of belonging and the commitment towards the colors of the national team. So that's why we have in our coaching staff people that you don't need to motivate, because of course they are Hungarian and they would like to do the best for themselves, but especially for their country.
How can you help integrate new team members into the team?
Yeah, I think that it was never a big problem for me, because the guys, the squad, integrate every newcomer in the best way. Nobody made the guy coming from the first time feeling uncomfortable. Always they try to be friendly, they try to integrate immediately, they try to talk with him, to put him. Then of course there are differences about characters too. Someone of my players, especially of course the newcomer, sometimes I'm asking if they are mute or not, because they never talk, they never say nothing. So they are, is this attitude that is also saying about them that they are respectful of the new environment in which they are coming. So I think at the moment everything is, under this aspect, is working well. There are also differences between characters. So maybe someone, like I mentioned before, someone who is really shy, that is not talking too much or nothing, of course maybe is looking at some other one who is always, talking or talking loudly in a different way, So there are differences. Not everybody is the same, but I have to say that they are respecting each other, and they are also respecting the differences between each other. So the environment is looking like being good.
What have been the biggest difficulties or challenges over the years?
If I'm thinking at the beginning of my career here in Hungary, I had to face different and several challenges. And that's why, if I'm thinking at the beginning of my career here, I'm not talking about my career in Italy, better no, but if I'm thinking at the beginning of my career here, at the coach that I was, at the coach, not at the person. The person is still the same. After 12 years, I think that I am still the same person. But as a coach, looking at me 12 years ago, looking at me now, you cannot recognize me. So I changed a lot. I was so lucky to develop, to work on myself, and I think that I improved a lot, especially under the aspect of the body language, under the aspect of the attitude towards, not only towards the referee, because of course I improved a lot, but especially towards the guys. And I learned step by step how important is have a loyal communication, no problem. I was always loyal, but sometimes is important. I understood that it's very important to say one word more than one word less. So you must communicate with them. You must talk with them. You must share with them which are your feelings, your opinions about them in a loyal way. Because if you have to say, look, I think that you must improve in this and this and this in order to be taken count to play, you must say directly without liars.
How did you change over the years?
I had to change, because if no, you cannot survive in this world. I mean, I say several times, I think that the coaches are like the doctors, of course, in medicine. Of course, they are saving lives. We are not saving nothing. We are just giving when we are lucky. When we are lucky, thanks to our guys, we could give some moments or few hours of happiness to our fans, to our crowd. but we are not saving lives. But what is common between us and the doctors is that, like in medicine, the doctors, even after graduation, they have to study day by day in order to be always, and we have to do the same, because football is something that is not static, but is changing with new tendencies, with new influences. So you need to be at the same level of what the time are requesting to you.
Have you brought changes to the team game?
No, but I think that it was a process in which we improved training camp after training camp. This is our target. We would like every time, and still we want every time to add something new, something that till the previous training camp was not practiced, and we would like to add every time something new. Also little details, but because all the news are making the players curious. And if they are curious, they are more involved in what you are offering to them to do. So I think that the curiosity that you have to switch on in the players is one of the key. And thanks to our staff, to my staff essentially, in which we have many youngs and Hungarians who are really committed to introduce every time something new, something interesting, the guys are pushed under this aspect to be curious.
There is a huge expectation now. How can you take the pressure of the boys?
We know that the guys were able to create this enthusiasm, because if you think that when we played, with all the respect for our opponent, of course, but when we played against Germany or Italy or England or France or Portugal, it's normal to have a full house stadium. I mean, 65, 68,000 people there. But it was full house even when we played against, for instance, Estonia in a friendly match, or even now against Kosovo last match, was full house. It means that the enthusiasm all around the team that the guys were able to create is something that somehow and sometimes you cannot control. I mean, if people is enthusiastic, it's thanks to your effort, to your result, to your job. In this moment, they are thinking or dreaming, I don't know, that we can go till I don't know where in the European Championship, and we cannot do nothing for this. We feel these huge expectations, we feel this pressure. What we can do is try to control our emotions, try to arrive to those matches in the best of our conditions. This is what we can control. All the rest cannot be controlled.
It's a hard period for the team. How can you motivate them?
I think that the motivation of the guys is something that they must feel inside themselves. I mean, there are players who are motivated by external factors. That could be the crowd, could be the money, could be I don't know what. Others are motivated from inside. They have, they are making challenges with themselves. And this is something that is coming from inside themselves. So it's much more easy for me. I don't need to motivate this kind of players because they are motivated by themselves. Of course, there are other kind of players, and under this aspect, I think that the more easy motivation that I can suggest to them is to take a look to what is going on, what is happening all around them, especially when they are playing at home.
Do you have a recipe for success? Can you give some tips?
No, I think that, look, what I can say is that the success in football, like in life, in every aspect of life, could be determined. I mean, you cannot be successful all time long. No, you cannot be successful all your lifetime. Even if there are examples of this. If I'm thinking to the top coaches in the world, yesterday evening we have seen Real Madrid, Manchester City, and over there in the bench, Guardiola and Carlo Ancelotti are between the most successful coaches of the history of football, all their lifetime. But it's not my case. So what I can say is that first, at the beginning of my career, I was everything, but of course, I was not successful. Then I was lucky because I came here in Hungary and I decided to come here. And since then, the things start to change. But probably together with the things, I changed myself. I changed my state of my mindset. You know, I understood that in order to make the thing more interesting for you, in order to have more success in your lifetime, you have to be even more focused on your work, on your job. Even you have to try to improve on all the details that you feel are not properly the strongest in your, you know, personality, in your way of being. And probably because I start on working more on myself, arrive also this kind of success. And I hope that this success, not for me, but especially for the national team, could keep the same track for a long time, even after me, even when I will be no more the coach of the Hungarian national team. I hope that we gave an indication on the way on which the things must be done. And then, of course, what is doing the difference in football are always the players. There is no coach without his players. So the success is done 80%, 85% by the guys, by the players, by their qualities, by their skills. Then, of course, the coach must try to help them to show their potential 100%.
It seems that you not only build a team, you build a brand.
But the Hungarian team is a brand. It's a brand because everybody is watching at us, we can say. Not only, of course, especially in the key moments, in the moment in which we are going to play some important match, qualifiers or whatever. Now there will be the European Championship, of course, I think. In Hungary, we say 10 millions, more or less. We say that there are 10 millions of szövetségi kapitány, and also this is true. But in the moment in which the national team is going to play, I think that I have the sensation that even if there is people that is not interested in football, of course, but it's looking like the country is going to stop to watch what will happen in this hour and a half in which we are going to play. So I think that this will happen also in the European Championship. And for this reason, of course, the Hungarian national team is a brand. Everybody is taking a look to us, to our players. And under this aspect, we have a huge responsibility. But it's also very important that the people, the fans, the crowd, recognize itself in the team for the way in which the team is acting, especially on the pitch. And it's not only because of the results. It's essentially and especially, I think, because of the attitude of the guys on the pitch.
How to manage egos and stars, for example, Dominik Szoboszlai?
I think that is not different from the others, especially as a person is acting in a very, how can I say, is not selfish. is absolutely not selfish. He's coming to the national team, is putting himself on the same level of the others, but not only with words, also with the attitude that he has towards every players. We don't have only, of course, only Dominic inside the team that is coming from a top league. We have other 6, 7 players, but everybody has the same attitude. Nobody is acting, nobody is feeling himself as a star inside our group, inside the national team group. And what I can see also from my position is that everybody is always available towards people who is asking for autograph, for pictures. Also because without people, we are nothing.
What kind of leader are you? Do you have any weaknesses?
Yes, I have weaknesses like everybody.
Tell me one.
No, I have many. But of course, I'm working. I'm trying to work. Sometimes I'm successful, sometimes not so much. But yeah, everybody of us has weaknesses, and that's why we have to work on ourselves day by day. And it's not only something regarding the professional aspect. Sometimes my wife say to me, how is possible that we cannot see together a movie? And my answer is because I'm always watching matches. This is possible. This is the reason. So, but why I'm always watching matches? Because from every match, even I remember I went at home some months ago and I went to watch a match in Italy of 4th division. And my wife, why? Why you are going there? 4th division? Because you can learn something from everyone and from every match, because something can happen that could give to you ideas, new ideas. That's why I'm watching all those matches. So even if now I'm the coach of the Hungarian national team, even if our matches are every 2 months, we can say, because in a year without final competition, I mean without European Championship or without World Championship, in a year you have 10 matches. And between each 2 matches you have a lot of time. But in this time I'm not going in holiday or I'm not resting completely. I'm always, my brain, my mind is always thinking in what we can improve, what we can do better of the previous time. And in order to do this, you must improve your technical and tactical knowledge, together with the fact that you have to work on yourself about your psychological weaknesses.
You mentioned what kind of leader you are. Does the leader need to keep his distance from the team? How can you balance your relationship with the team?
I think that because of the hierarchy, there are positions in the team or in the coaching staff. In the coaching staff, there is the head coach, and then there are all the other professionals working together and around him. Many times you can see that the players have a particular relationship with someone of them, because sometimes they can also talk about their private life, their problems. You know, there are some connection between the coaching staff members and some of the players that could be more and more deep, and this is good, of course. Then there are things that are really personal that sometimes, of course, they didn't want to share with the coach or with the other professionals. But it's important to give to everybody the idea, the sensation to be in the same boat. If we are in the same boat, I'm not different to you, from you. I'm the same. Like a man, I'm the same. Then my job is different from the others, but the guys respect the difference of position inside the staff naturally. You don't need to say, oh, I'm the coach, you are, no, never. So this is something that will come automatically. You don't need to say to them or to show to them that you are the boss. They know that you are the boss and they respect you. Then it's very important, because of course I am in a position, but above all I have an age in which I could be the father of almost all my players. I don't want to say the grandfather because still not, but the father, yes. And for a coach, with these players, it's just like for a father with his son. You don't need to talk too much. You don't need to say, oh, you have to do this, 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 this. No, you have to show him the way. The example is much more useful than blah, blah, blah.
Okay, but what have you done to achieve that everybody knows you are the boss?
Well, I signed a contract like head coach with the federation, so everybody knows. But then one of maybe the most important thing that worked well in order to make everybody responsible and at the same time respectful of his position is the fact that I gave the confidence to every single professional in my staff without interfering in his job. I mean, if someone is demanded to do one thing, he has to do this thing. Then he will bring to me the result. And everybody doing their job, bringing to me the final result of their work, all these things are making much more easy the things for us, because the final result we know is to win matches and to be successful as more as possible. But there are many, many little details that are working together in order to achieve these results, and every single member of the staff is important about his job. And everybody is doing this job at the maximum of his knowledge and of his commitment. I never interfere in their job, and this is making also a nice environment inside the team, also between the players, because at the end we have many moments, because we train at least a couple of hours in a day. The rest of the day is done by other 10 hours to spend each other. They are free to do almost everything they want. So they are free. I'm not there to control nobody and nothing. But in this way, you are making them responsible on one side for themselves. And on the other side, also the subconscious is working in the way in which they can think, okay, this man is giving to us all this confidence, now we have to pay him back through our performances. And that's why probably I hope that this is the reason they are putting the maximum of their effort on the pitch and also in the trainings.
Do you have an unfulfilled dream in Hungary?
I have, but it's a dream, you cannot say. The first time, I think one of the first interview in which, after I signed the contract with the federation, I said that I would like to leave a sign of my stay on the bench. And I can say now also, because at the moment I'm already one of the captain of the national team. I am in the first three places. I think I am in the third place together with Mesut Kalman. So a sign is already visible, I think, but I would like, this is a dream, I would like to leave a more deep sign in the national team achievements.
Do you feel comfortable in Hungary?
To be honest, I'm living in Budapest, essentially. Then, okay, I'm traveling, but just to watch the matches in the other cities. So I'm not, acting properly like a tourist. So I know Budapest, I can say Budapest, I know well. I like very much to stay in the city, because even if I'm not doing nothing particular, but the simple fact to walk between historical building, in a so nice city, especially in the evening, is something that is making you grateful. And I'm happy to live here, to live in Budapest. About food, I'm a good fork. That's why I'm not so skinny like many of my colleagues. But yeah, I like, of course, the Italian food, but I like also the Hungarian. The only thing is that I can eat, we can say, for a week, only once, Hungarian style food.
How do you see the fans of the Hungarian national team? Do you have any message for them?
I think that our fans are, in general, really, how can I say, from one side educated, from the other side evoluted also, and at the end they are dreaming about targets that they would like to achieve together with the team. But what I feel and I experienced directly is that even if the results will not come, because we are not playing alone, we have to face very, very tough opponent. Even if the results will not come, they will be happy for the effort and for the attitude. What they generally appreciate much more than everything is really the result. Is the result in football is the most important thing, but they want to see you fighting on the pitch without being afraid of the opponent, without reserves. So if they see you fighting, they will be happy whenever it will be the result. So I have no particular suggestion to them, and I'm sure that they will support us.
Thank you.
Thank you to you.